Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. I've got David alongside me. I hope you're okay, David. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you all right. Same
Oh,
hairstyle as
nice.
the
I can
guy
see
behind.
Agassi in the background.
Yeah, he won it 5 times. I was just comparing hairstyles.
That's a good one, Dave. Yeah. That's a nice comparison. The hairstyles are similar, but as you say, he's won it 5 times. You didn't quite manage that feat, David.
No, absolutely not.
How's life anyway? How's things going?
Yeah, very good. I think it's great that uh, he snuck into another main draw, so second one on the bounce, which is helpful. And we've just had a pretty long practice session, nearly 2 hours, and it was really good. So I think he's feeling good, and we'll see tomorrow.
How's the transition gone? Obviously, having had the grass court season, now we're back on the hard. Is it an easy transition for Liam?
Yes, grass to hard is pretty easy. It's you got a little bit more time on the ball. The bounce is obviously very true most of the time. So yeah, I think the transition to grass is a lot more difficult than out of it.
So we will just briefly have a look back. It's been a couple of weeks or maybe even more since we've spoken, David. So another epic Wimbledon, or certainly epic moments. How does this year's Wimbledon compare to last year? Now the dust has settled.
I mean, certainly uh, two things stand out for me. One, I think, winning on center court against the number 4 in the world is something that, you can't do unless you really do know how to play some very, very good tennis. So I think that cemented, certainly in my mind, and I think in his, that, he can play at very, very high levels.
Yeah.
I think, secondly, even though he lost the match against Shapovalov with such a quick turnaround, and I don't think he really had time to decompress properly. He did serve for the third set and had chances to, maybe win that.
Yeah.
So it was a really good follow-up after a good win, whereas the previous Wimbledon, he beat Schwartzman, and I felt he wasn't really in the match with de Minaur until the third set. The first 2 sets really went by. And I just didn't feel like he was totally there to win it. Maybe felt a bit tired like he did against Shapovalov, but I think he dealt with it much better this year. So there's, again, a growing sign there of being able to maybe beat some big players back-to-back now, which is the next step for me.
Right. And so we had a similar result this year in terms of getting to the third round at Wimbledon, also knocking over a big guy en route. In terms of, obviously, last year it was Schwartzman, this year it was Casper Ruud, but this year, of course, as you said, centre court made it even more special, etc. But of course, we didn't quite get to that top 100 mark, which is still that golden, the gold at the end of the rainbow. And it's so tantalizingly close, David. How frustrating or exciting is this?
Um, I think it's a bit of both, actually. I don't think it.
I think we've lost David briefly. I hope we get him back. I'll just fill in until we have David back. So, of course, last year he beat Schwartzman in the second round in 5 sets and got through to the third round. Whereas this year, there was points though on offer, at least for the third round, but he needed to get to the fourth round to make it into the top 100, and he's now got. David, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, I've changed to 5G now, so hopefully that stays. The internet said it was strong, but clearly not. So I don't know what the last thing was you heard.
David, I filled in basically as you went away. I just sort of compared the two Wimbledon runs. What was the final? Oh, yes. So this tantalizingly close top 100. If you can sort of respond to that.
Yeah, I feel now that it's just keep playing now and get it done. And I think Liam's in a pretty good space. The practice today again was just about getting better. After Newport, we had a good chat, and immediately went on court and made a pretty drastic change on his serve, which
Okay.
I've been wanting to do for a while. We tried 2 years ago, but it didn't quite work. But this time I feel like it's worked, and that
Okay.
he's totally bought in, and I'm hoping now going forward that the serve is going to give him more help than it has done in the past. And I think that's, if you look at all his stats at Wimbledon, the one thing that stands out is the serve is not quite up to sort of top 50 standard or even top 100 standard, whereas the rest of the game is clearly, his backhand was the third best backhand at Wimbledon,
Yeah.
after Sinner and Djokovic. So, and the forehand, pace is there, everything is there. It stands up very well on the stats as well.
Tell us about Newport. Obviously, he got a win there, but ultimately couldn't get past Jordan Thompson. Thompson is somebody who I think is very good on this surface and has also had good results this year. But was that a bit disappointing, the result against Jordan, 6-2, 6-2?
Yes and no. I wasn't comfortable going into the match. I felt that the first round was okay, but he made a meal of it. And then he dropped serve first game of the match, and I felt after that he was always behind the curve, and then he dropped serve first service game of the second set as well. So and I could see that the whole serve thing was kind of working on his mind, and Jordan served very, very well that day, so he wasn't really getting a look in on his serve and was really struggling on his own serve. So I see that match as a real positive, because I think it was the catalyst to him saying, okay, we know we have to change the serve. We were going to wait till he was top 100, but it happened there and then. It was just like, no, come on, we need to do this. And I think, of course, as a catalyst, it was a very good thing.
I mean, of course, this year as well, Liam doesn't have to qualify for Washington. He's already into the first round, where he'll be playing Moutet more or less this time tomorrow. What's the weather like there? I mean, in previous years, I can remember it being very hot and very humid. How is it there at the moment?
I mean, today is a little cooler. It's only 31. But I mean, the previous 2 days have been 37. It's been, but we had such a storm late yesterday afternoon. I mean, we were in the minivan going back, and the van had to stop. It was like you were in a wall of water, and we had branches and pieces of tree hitting us all over the place. It was actually quite scary.
Okay.
And then we heard later that actually a tornado hit Washington, and sadly one person was killed.
Oh no!
But it was such a storm. And today it's definitely not as humid, and as I said, 31, it's still hot, but this is actually, by Washington standards, a nice temperature to play in.
Yeah, I mean, how does Liam tend to deal with these kind of conditions? Is he okay with it? I mean, I know we spoke at the beginning of the year about how he tried to really work on his fitness during the sort of Christmas and December period.
Yeah, I think he's going to cope with it just fine. I mean, as I said, we had a pretty long practice session today, and it is still very hot, and he coped just absolutely fine. And I think he's in a place physically now that he needs to be, and obviously he can always get a little better, but I think he's in a really good place physically, and I don't think he's going to be losing here because of physical.
David, when is the moment? Because, of course, if he makes the top 100, there's a very good chance that he'll automatically qualify for the US Open. When is
He won't, because that cutoff's been done already.
The cutoff's been done. Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. So
okay.
Sadly, no matter what he does, the US Open is going to be. But I think the US Open is one place that it'd be very nice for him to qualify. He's qualified at the others, and I think if he could get through qualifying at US Open, he'd be quite dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, listen, we've tried and look at the positive side. If he does qualify, he'll be, he'll be hitting the ground running in that first round, as opposed to his opponent if he gets a nice draw. So is it it's the only major he's not played in yet from the first round anyway?
Yes, it's the only one he's not played main draw.
Yeah. What are our thoughts on this hard court swing now, anyway, in general, as a broader look, between now and New York?
Are you talking about in terms of who can win New York, or
No,
more
just
like
Liam's
schedule?
calendar, actually.
Yeah, so basically Washington, and then he's gonna go to 2 challenges. I'm just gonna go to one of them. So next week is Cary in North Carolina, challenger. Then he'll go to Winnipeg. I'm gonna cut out for a short holiday, and he'll play Winnipeg Challenger, which actually this year is very, very strong at the moment. And then into US Open qualies.
Will you be back? Will you be back in New York yourself for that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I'll take like 5 or 6 days with the family, and then straight back for New York.
I mean, I'm pleased you mentioned, family there, David, because this stretch of the season for you, of course, I guess you reside in the UK normally. You're from South Africa originally, but you do have family in North America. So does that at least help this what could feel like a lengthy, couple of months, 6 weeks of the season?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and also the location. So my daughter and her husband and family live in Greenwich, Connecticut, which is just north of New York. Actually, 45-minute train ride into New York. So it's a good proximity. So I can nip back there very easily, and have a few days, and then getting back to New York is not going to be a problem. And obviously New York, to go anywhere in the country is pretty easy. So
Yeah.
it's quite a nice base to have.
One more thing before you go. Have you managed to get out and about and see Washington? I mean, have you been before? What are your thoughts on the city?
I mean, I've been many times before. It's a place that I particularly like. I've done a bit of sightseeing in the past. I particularly like the Vietnam War Memorial. I think it's a very special place, actually. I mean, I've seen the old Lincoln thing and the White House and all of that. But actually, the area where we're staying and where the tournament is, I think it's like Country Rock Park or Little Rock Park or something. It's a very, very nice area. I think the sad thing is downtown areas in most American cities now seem to have a lot of homeless people. And I suppose it's similar to the UK, and it really it does take sadly a little bit of a shine away from cities when you see that kind of deprivation and so much homelessness. But I guess it's part of the world today. But as an overall city, I really do like Washington. I like the feel of it, and Georgetown is a great place to go out and eat, and a lot of good coffee shops there and restaurants, and it's a really nice part of town to spend the evenings.
So just having a quick look at Moutet and Broady, they have met once before in a challenger, I believe, right? Twice, okay.
Twice, and on clay both times, and Liam's lost in straight sets both times. Moutet is very, very tricky on clay. Great hand skills, great drop shots. Very manipulates the ball very, very well. But hard court is a different situation, and I'm hoping that weight of shot and Liam is in a different place now playing him, but he's also in a different place. He's top 100 now. But I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for Moutet on the hard than it has been on the clay.
Listen, by no means are we taking this lightly. I mean, every match against someone in the top 100 is always tricky. First round in an ATP 500, absolutely. But it is the word that we would use, winnable in a sporting context. So at least, of course, he came up against Medvedev early on in the year, but unfortunately, when you play Daniel Medvedev on a hard court in the first round, it's going to be tricky. And he was a breakup, of course, I think at the beginning of that match, but
Yeah.
we made a good fight of that. But at least tomorrow there's a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is in the world, wherever you are tuning in from. I've got
Part of town to spend the evenings.
So just having a quick look at Moutet and Broady, they have met once before in a challenger, I believe, right?
Twice,
Okay.
and on clay both times, and Liam's lost in straight sets both times. Moutet is very, very tricky on clay. Great hand skills, great drop shots. Very manipulates the ball very, very well. But hard court is a different situation, and I'm hoping that weight of shot that and Liam is in a different place now playing him, but he's also in a different place. He's top 100 now. But I think it's going to be a lot more difficult for Moutet on the hard than it has been on the clay.
Listen, by no means are we taking this lightly. I mean, every match against someone in the top 100 is always tricky. First round in an ATP 500, absolutely. But it is the word that we would use, winnable in a sporting context. So at least, of course, he came up against Medvedev early on in the year, but unfortunately, when you play Daniel Medvedev on a hard court in the first round, it's going to be tricky. And he was a breakup, of course, I think at the beginning of that match, but we made a good fight of that. But at least tomorrow there's a bit more, optimism, and then suddenly you're in the second round, hopefully, and your tournament is up and running, and your North American swing as well, especially when it comes to the hard course anyway, is up and running. So, do you have some optimism for tomorrow?
Yes, definitely. I think today's practice, as I said, went really well. I think he's in a really good space, and every tournament first round is always tricky and difficult. Everybody's nervous going into the first round.
Yeah.
But if you can get off to a good start and find a way through this match, then you're in the tournament, and then basically anything can happen. And hopefully then he can actually get on a run. It'd be really nice to go 2, 3, 4 matches here and get the whole top 500 thing out of the way right here and now.
Yeah, right.
But of course, it's easier said than done.
Absolutely. I know I keep saying one more, but I really have just got one more.
Yeah.
Jake in the live chat is just saying that Moutet has been playing with a wrist problem recently, so it has been affecting his backhand. More specifically, though, Liam, how's his health? And of course, he's had some wrist issues too this year.
Yeah, I mean, his health is really good at the moment. He's got a really good routine, strengthening the wrist and working the wrist, every time before he goes on court, these specific exercises, and they really are keeping it under control. So, Liam is in a good space where that's concerned. And, we'll have to see whether Moutet is in a worse space or not. But I don't think he'd be playing if he felt that it was going to really, hurt his future or was really, really, too painful to put a very good game out on the court. So, I mean, we'll just have to see tomorrow. But I'm expecting Moutet to be, fully ready.
Cool. We're all looking forward to that. At least it's scheduled for about 4 p.m. local time. Of course, that will depend on matches that go on before it, so maybe it'll end up being a bit later on. You've got a grin on your face, David. I don't know if you've just seen.
I was gonna say, if anybody wants to have a quick look at the White House,
I mean, we've seen the White House and Andre Agassi so far. That's not too bad for a pod.
I could walk along and you can see Connors as well if you want.
Jimmy Connors too, yeah. Jimmy Connors and Andre Agassi. If Liam can take inspiration from those two, then that would be great for tomorrow and the rest of the tournament. Yeah. David, wonderful catch.
I've definitely taken inspiration
from Andre more than from Jimmy, of course. Listen, David, wonderful to have you on board today, and I'm hoping that we'll catch up with you again, maybe just before Liam's final in Washington on Sunday.
That'd be fabulous.
All right, David. Thanks very much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the live commentary for Liam Broady against Corentin Moutet in Washington, which I think is going to be a pretty exciting match. Of course, Liam Broady, a friend of the show, as you probably saw in the poll as well. Why is Liam Broady a friend of the show? That's something that we need to talk about, right? Obviously, he has been interviewed by John on this channel. His coach David Samuel has been interviewed by John on this channel like countless times, and yeah, I mean he's a great guy, right? So, are we rooting for Liam Broady on this channel? I'm gonna stay objective, but well, let's. Of course, Corentin Moutet is not a friend of the show, so we kind of have to have our favorite in here. But well, we're gonna find out whether he's going to be able to do it. He actually has not beaten Moutet yet in 2 attempts. Back in 2018, they played at the Tunis Challenger in the opening round, with Moutet winning 7-6, 6-3. And also last year, they played in Aix-en-Provence, where Moutet won 6-4, 6-2, also the first round. Both these challengers are on clay, in case anyone is wondering. So, it's not necessarily gonna mean much in regards to this encounter. Obviously, Broady is a very weak clay quarter, I would say. So, that surface was certainly favoring Moutet quite a lot. When it comes to some other things, we'll see how Mute's backhand is going to be like, because since his injury, he actually has been like playing slice only, with some situational shots being played off the one hander, because his wrist was not ready yet to just execute his normal backhand. As it turns out, it doesn't matter all that much. He's still a guy who like has amazing touch on the slice, but at the same time he plays 90% of the time, he like still plays to the left side of the court. He tries to hit that run around forehand. So maybe it doesn't really, sorry, the right side of the court, of course. I was looking at it from a right-hander perspective, and maybe it doesn't really matter for him all that much. But then again, I'm also not sure. Maybe he has started hitting his backhand normally, because I haven't watched him in like, I don't know, 2 months. No, 2 months, no, 2 weeks, I wanted to say, or something like that. So maybe he is getting back to it. We're gonna find out. And yeah, they're just starting actually. Liam's gonna serve. No sighting of the Moutet backhand so far, because as I said, he's just constantly playing to his right side and trying to hit it all on the forehand side. And a beautiful drop shot from Moutet already on the first point of the match. Hit a couple of great forehands in there, very deep, lots of spin on them, and then just finished it off with the dropper. And that sort of balance of creativity, I think, is going to be important in this match as well. Moutet can do everything with the ball, whereas Broady is like a more physical hitter, right? And I wonder how he handles that flamboyance, that flair of Corentin Moutet. As I said, like these matches that we've seen from them so far, I don't believe they tell us all that much, especially as they were on clay, but also in the pre-injury Moutet with a regular backhand. So yeah, let's just wait and see. And Broady actually hits an ace to get it to 15 all. Gonna be a second serve now. He serves to the Moutet forehand, and Moutet was clearly expecting another direction there. He had to make like a hundred of steps towards that ball, and didn't eventually play that return into the court. Another good serve from Broady should set him up for the easy smash, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, Ghosty. Kostyuk is definitely legit. She has been legit since she made Australian Open round 3 at the age of 15. And ever since, she's been sort of there waiting for that breakthrough win. I'm not really sure that's it, at this stage, at this point in time. I think it needs to be like a slightly bigger result to tell us that, something is actually going forwards for her. But I think this year she has already broken that streak of not beating top 10 players, right? I mean, she definitely beat Sakari at Wimbledon. And before that, I think she had like a 0 and something record against top 10 players, which was at like 0-13 or some along these lines. So to an extent, she has definitely made progress. Ooh, what happened to my camera is a bit of a question. I'm not gonna. Huh. Um, that's an interesting view, certainly. I could try to fix it, but usually when I try to do it, it kicks me out for a moment. So perhaps I'm actually not gonna attempt this time. Like there should be an option to do it, without going out, but I'm not sure how to do it. Anyway, maybe I'm gonna try in a second. As Broady got his first game on the board. Kotick is fun to watch, aggressive and agile. I'm cool with her being around in later rounds for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, John. I will attempt to do something, but whether I will be successful, I am yet to know. Click the camera button to turn it back on. And where is the camera button is the question. Is this the? No, it's not. No, sorry, no, that's not it. Anyway, Moutet serves and actually goes to the net. Great volley. It was pretty easy, but still good timing on it, and lots of classic volleying technique. I'm gonna get back to my camera fixing duties in a second. We still haven't seen a backhand from Moutet, I believe. So. Oh, here, start come. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right, John. Yeah, now it's fine. Maybe I have just learned how to do it. Let's see if we finally get a backhand from Moutet. Okay, it's a slice. So I guess he's not. I guess he's not back to hitting it yet. But as I said, it doesn't really matter for him. It seems so that's fine. I actually kind of feel sorry for the guy because last year, at the end of last year, it was like the best patch of play that he's ever had, especially when it comes to mentality and how he was holding up in all the tough moments. And then he just gets injured, gets out for a few months. He is back, but not hitting his backhand. But yeah, clearly he's doing well, just working his way around it. It's just that it's not that kind of form like at the end of 2022. But yeah, let's see. That was actually a great rally from Broady. Finally punishing Moutet with that against the legs forehand, repeating the same direction. And now this is where Moutet saves himself with like a half volley pickup of the backhand side. Clearly, he is still hitting that one hander, as I said. But another deep forehand from Broady gives him the 15-30. So first small opportunity for Liam here. I don't think our Liam Broady, a friend of the show, is watching the stream. I also believe that David Samuel is probably not watching the stream either. But maybe they will watch it on rewind, yeah, if you are doing that, guys, of course, cheers to you. And yeah, hopefully, Liam, you're watching that after a win, not after a loss. I guess same goes to the coach. But anyway, Broady tries to go for this huge counter backhand down the line, and I think he has just missed it. That is the case. Really out of position for this one, so it would have been a stunning shot if he made it, but that didn't pan out. Yeah, I'm gonna mention some of the other results. Yeah, Ghosty, I know Coach Samuel is probably in DC, but that's basically it was like a light-hearted joke. So yeah, thank you for making me explain it. But anyway, I'm gonna mention all of these other results, either the ones that have actually taken place already or either the ones that are going on right now a bit later. Again, Moutet has to save himself with that backhand half volley pickup after a deep return from Broady, but he's back in the rally and he nets a slice. So we're gonna have a breakpoint for the British number That's actually a fun exercise. How many Brits can be ahead of Liam Broady in the rankings? Murray, Norrie, Evans for sure, and also there has to be someone else, right? There has to be like at least one more. Draper, of course, yeah, and then you probably have Liam Broady. So I should have said the British number 5. Let's see if he gets that. He forces Moutet to slice again, but now the Frenchman is in like more pleasant territory for him, hitting the run around forehand. Tries to play the drop shot. Honestly, a pretty weird spot to do it because he was far behind the baseline and Broady was already running towards the net, and he nets it anyway. So he doesn't even make Broady play the finishing shot. So after just 8 minutes, it's 2-love up Liam Broady, and basically whatever he was hoping for here, and whatever he was hoping to see here in the opening 2 games of the match, that's what he got. And that's a great hat from David Samuel, the friend of the show. Definitely, if you are in Washington, in any if any of you are in Washington right now, or in any other place with heat and humidity, remember to stay hydrated. Remember to use sunscreen because even today, Ibing Wu fainted on the court and had to retire, even though he was 4-1 up against Yosuke Watanuki. It's a shame because, well, one thing, it's a shame because, of course, Wu wasn't feeling well and hopefully he is going to be fine. But the other thing is also I was very excited about that match. But the first one is clearly more important, and hopefully Ibing will be fine soon. Good couple of serves from Broady. Probably could have done more with the +1 forehand, but Moutet nets the response anyway. All over the place so far, the Frenchman for sure. And Broady is quick to pounce, quick to take advantage. Just 2 points away from a 3-love lead now. That's probably a double fault though, so he gives Moutet a point here. Was trying to slice it down the tee and just missed it. Yeah, along with this, I think we've got just one men's match going on right now, and Ghosty was already commenting on it. I might talk about it during the changeover as Broady fires a fine forehand and tries to go into the net, and that's a poor miss. He had great timing on it. It was still above the net, and it just clips the net. Well, easily could have been 2 game points up here, but instead it actually gets interesting. Did everything right in this point until that final volley, which didn't even have to be perfect, right? Anyway, he put it. He would have been fine, likely. Another good serve, but he is not going to take advantage with the +1 shot. But another slip, another messy error from Moutet gives him the game point anyway. Well, if it is 3-love, it's going to be very deserved so far because Moutet just hasn't started that well. That's way long though, so he's going to have to try to clinch it on a second serve. Goes for the slice serve out wide, the most the most overused, but also actually like it's good that they use it so much, serve of the lefties. And he actually doesn't win the point with Moutet turning it around, pushing Broady deep into his forehand corner, and then stepping in to take that inside in forehand. So it's deuce. Broady certainly could have been with certainly could have taken this game already if he didn't commit some poor errors like the double fault of the volley. But of course, no damage has been done yet. The first serve is not helping right now, though. This time he just rolls it in, keeps Moutet on that in that backhand corner and on the slice, and Moutet makes the error. So far, out of like 10 slices, out of Moutet, I think has made like 3 errors or something. And of course, the slice is, at least most of the time, not going to be the most offensive shot in the world, not going to be the most risky shot in the world. So that's something he will need to work on. And that's not an ace. Okay, that probably a lead then. I'm watching with no sound as usual when we're doing this. I think it was a lead though. Ooh, that's some amazing touch there from Broady, but is he going to win the point? He is not. That was quite stunning. Broady hit this serve out wide that had Moutet really far out the court, but he took the next shot in like a very fancy way, just half volleying the forehand off the baseline, and it was honestly a great shot. But then Moutet ran down. I mean, he just ran it all down and made this banana pass with the forehand. That's what you watch Moutet for, I suppose. And that's another banana forehand to give him the point. This time it was just a straight up rally shot though, and Broady makes the error on the defensive slice. So there's a breakpoint for the Frenchman now. A little out of nowhere, but the last 2 points certainly the best that Moutet has played so far in this match. That's gonna be another let. So this serve is not going to go in though, so that breakpoint will have to be saved on the second serve if Broady is going to save that game. The serve does not give him any advantage, and they're just rallying. Broady tries to go for a backhand down the line. The ball was inviting, certainly, especially with Moutet's positioning, which, as I said, like he's just always moved to his right side. But he just misses that backhand. Was trying to be very flat as usual, of course, with his technique. And yeah, speaking of, no worries, Ghosty. Like if you say something on in the chat, I'm probably not gonna see it that early anyway. So don't worry about giving anything away. That's gonna be fine. Yeah, Moutet is chipping a lot of the bros he serves, but in general, he's chipping everything that goes to his backhand side right now. So I guess at least 50% of them have to be chips. It's pretty funny that he can play this well without a backhand, but yeah, turns out that it's possible. Yeah, and the other match that is going on right now on the men's side, as I mentioned, is McDonald against Schwartzman. Not a fan, I have to say about I have to say this about Schwartzman playing here. Like I'm not really a fan of this idea. I think he's in such big trouble that it would probably suit him more to like just play some clay challengers. But well, he probably doesn't want to go down a level yet. Is still trying to hold on in like Washington, Canada, Cincy, and I'm not sure he's gonna do all that well. McDonald is also a pretty brutal draw, I think, in Washington. Of course, a former runner-up from whichever year that was when he played Sinner in a great final. I think maybe 2021. Broady is laughing about something, but no clue what that is. Anyway, Moutet is about to serve at 1-2 in the opening set. This court is looking a lot like the US Open with like the whole setup. Maybe not necessarily the stands because they're like very close to the court, you wouldn't get it. You would get some sort of advertising board or something, but like the whole deep blue setup behind the players. That's a great sort of attacking slice from Moutet. It was really low, it was really short, and Broady cannot get it up with the lefty topspin forehand. Maybe it was also a little bit and maybe it wasn't fully clean as well, because I think he just apologized. Good body serve from Moutet, deep into Liam, and he cannot react in time. So 30 love to the Frenchman. Yeah, if it's 2-all in just a second, there will definitely be some regrets from Broady. He had that free love game. I mean, he had that game at 2-love, basically won, and allowed Moutet to return to this set. I'm not saying free love was already set over, especially with players who like aren't that serve reliant, but still would have set him up for with a nice lead. And now he cannot handle the kick serve of Moutet to give him 3 game points. Should be a quick game for Moutet, absolutely. He gets an easy +1 forehand and he just kills it. So 2-all. That probably took like a minute, 15 seconds or something. I think it was just like a couple of missed returns from Broady, and then 2 points that Moutet won with his +1 shots. One with a winner and one with a forced error. So yeah, I think it was like a minute 30 maybe in this game. Really, really quick. Let's see if Broady can respond with a similarly easy hold, but he's usually not the type of player to do it, I suppose. Pretty good serve here. But Moutet gets a lot of spin on that forehand. He was hitting it like outside the tram lines already, but with his forehand still on his right side, right? So that was a pretty crazy runaround, but he got enough spin on it to force an error out of Broady. And I think even if Broady got it over the net, the amount of spin that Moutet put on it kind of allowed him already to be in this sort of position. Because I don't think he was gonna get punished even if Broady made the shot. But now there's an easy point coming in for Broady. The return from Moutet is just wide, so 15-all. Broady feels like he really needs that game, certainly with the last 5 minutes, the momentum shifting completely to Moutet. He tries to keep him in that backhand corner, keep him slicing, but Moutet is already out. There's not enough bite on the Broady forehand there. They're back to rallying in that pattern though. But that's a huge forehand. Um, I mean, it's wow. At the same time, you kinda can blame Broady for opening up the angle here, but still, like if someone hits a shot like that against you on the run, full on forehand counter down the line, there's not much you can do really. Fantastic shot from Moutet to go 15-30 in this Broady service game. I think that was probably out after the net cord. Yeah, so it's gonna be a second serve as well, and more trouble looming in for Broady here. It seems. That is a net though. So second serve from here. He just rolls it in and goes down the middle of his backhand, and Moutet comes up with a pretty simple unforced error here. So 30 all, he let his he took his foot off the gas pedal for a moment there, Moutet. And let's see if Broady can take full advantage and win the next 2 points. There's a forehand to forehand cross-court exchange now, and actually Broady wins it. It seemed like Moutet was in a slightly better position, but he commits the error. Probably framed that forehand a little bit. So 40-30 for Broady. Well, that was such a low ball, and Moutet still manages to get that forehand pretty cleanly. Despite how well it was struck by Broady, he approaches the net, and another volley miss from Broady. This one was slightly tougher, but then again, I don't really feel like he was risking all that much. I feel like this still wouldn't have been the finishing blow. He still would have had to clean it up with another volley or maybe even a couple more shots. So yeah, just some sloppy volleying from Broady so far. And in the opening, well, in the third game of the match, it didn't allow him to win it, and maybe here the situation could be similar. But that, of course, depends on the next few points. Second serve for Broady as well. Feels like his percentages haven't been that great. Of course, it's just 5 games, so the sample size isn't that huge. I might check that soon. But there's another sliced serve down the tee that he misses. This one was actually out by a significant amount. So not as close as the previous one. And suddenly we have another breakpoint for Corentin Moutet. Broady should be fine here, though. Lot more bite on this +1 forehand than he usually gets, and he goes to the net, but he's not even going to have to, he's not even going to have to play the volley because the sliced defense on the forehand from Moutet is going to be out. But the first serve is still not coming in. It's not helping out the British number 5, as I said earlier. Moutet just throws out that forehand long, was trying to get a lot of spin on that forehand and just misses it. And then if Broady is the British number 5, how can I call Moutet? The French number, let me check that. The French number 9, wow. They have 12 players in the top. No, sorry, 12 it's live, but 11 players in the official top 100 now. That's pretty ridiculous. And this time the first serve is actually in. So Moutet misses another forehand return. Yeah, Broady at 46% first serve percentage. Moutet just 30 actually after 5 games. But of course, as I said, it's not a huge sample size. Brody's second serve can't be more than 75 miles per hour, says Broady, says Ghosty. Is that strategy? I mean, in most cases, right? I mean, he's rolling it in with a huge kick or trying to slice it, but he's also not capable of huge second serves. But it's probably more profitable for him to go for these lefty spins most of the time, at least. Damien, notice Brody's short steps when he's prowling the baseline. I understand why that's helpful on grass, but doesn't work on hardcourt. Prowling the baseline, as in what? Like when he's close to the baseline? Tennis is a game of short steps, I would say, in terms of the movement, right? The amount of short steps you have to make in order to set up for your strokes correctly are is pretty huge. So I don't know. I would have to like see what exactly you mean. Oh, yes. And Mackenzie McDonald is now just 2 points away from the set against Diego Schwartzman. So still looking like he's likely going to take it. On the women's side, I think we have just one match going on right now. Not mentioning the doubles, sorry, but I know most people are interested in singles here. Lauren Davis playing Sloane Stevens, and currently a set and a breakup, but it's just one game in the second set. And I'm also assuming that it's not a match where the serves matter all that much. Good aggressive return from Broady, but Moutet gets back into the point. He should be smashing for it. It's very deep. Ooh. He just smashed it down, deep down the middle, and some thoughts that this was already going to give him the point for sure, looking at it, but no, he was actually forced to play one more volley, and then it's just beautiful. Basically off his feet, he comes up with this beauty. But yeah, 15 love up, thanks to that amazing point. And this sort of slice serve out wide as an ace must have clipped the line, and that was probably as slow as the Broady second serves that Ghosty was mentioning. But sometimes the placement is enough. Sometimes even I hit an ace. Although perhaps I wouldn't really do that against Moutet or Broady, right? And Moutet tries to serve in volley, which was a bit of a weird choice, I think, after such a serve, which was this kicker attempt, and Broady just slams the backhand return, sharp angle cross court. Nothing really that Moutet could have done when he was serving volleying it. Tries to go for that same serve again as he did in the second point of the game, which was, of course, also on the outside. But this time it's not in. And this time Broady is in a point. That's a 6 slice from Moutet, but Broady responds with an even better one. Lots of side spin there, going away from the court into the Moutet forehand corner, or like even outside of it, because it was going outside the court. And Moutet misses the forehand. Definitely, if he took at least one more step towards the ball, it could have been more convenient. 30-all. So another key point out of nowhere. So far, for sure, this match has been extremely even, and you could say that Broady had so many chances in the third game, but then again, he also could have been 2-3 down after the previous one. And now Moutet commits a double fault. So he was kind of flying out there, this game. He started with that amazing volley and then an ace. He was 30 love up, and suddenly it's Broady who's gonna have a breakpoint to go 4-2 up. That was not exactly what I expected after the first 2 points. Definitely not. But that same serve is working for Moutet. Is it gonna save him again? It does. This time it wasn't a clean ace. He actually had to play a +1 forehand and then another good volley once he got to the net. But the serve definitely set him up for this point. But a deuce, it's also going to be the second one. Great return from Broady, but will he be able to capitalize? I think Moutet is more or less back in the point already, and exactly, he counter punches well to give Broady a pretty tough ball deep down the middle. Broady tries to be really aggressive with it. Again, take it on the half volley, sort of with the forehand that we've seen him play a few times already in this match, and he shanks it. So Moutet has a chance to get to 3-all now. Again tries to go for that out wide sliced serve, just misses it. Broady will try to keep him on the slice again, but Moutet decides to play a drop shot. Broady is there to pick it up though. He played it deep into the Moutet backhand corner, and there's a one-handed passing shot attempt, which I've actually seen him pull off a few times. Not this year, like before he was playing a one-hander. Moutet has had a few sensational one-handed passes, especially on the Challenger Tour, but this one did not pan out. You could kind of see that the technique there for him is still a little bit clumsy. He was definitely better at I would say he was he wasn't exactly better, but when he had an option to go for a one-hander, he was only using it on balls that he really liked, and this that where it was very convenient for him. And right now, when he doesn't really have a two-hander anymore, because the wrist clearly isn't strong enough yet, he basically has to go for it on any shot that he's not comfortable slicing, and that's a bit of a problem for him. I think it's definitely that shot, the one-handed pass has been looking weaker than it was when it was just an option for specific balls that he thought was more that he thought were more profitable to take that way. Anyway, he cleans up that game, so it's 3-all. We still haven't learned much. Yeah. Yes, Ghosty, absolutely. The second serves are so slow that they remind you of Night of the Living Dead. Hey Osman, I mean, how can I let you watch this game? It's not possible. We would be taken off the YouTube live stream instantly. So if you're looking for a stream, that's not where you're gonna find it. I'm sorry. If basically if we showed the stream, it would be like 30 seconds before we got taken off YouTube, I think. Not the channel as a whole, but the stream definitely. Maybe I'm exaggerating with the 15 seconds, but that's basically the extent of it. And of course, no one here really wants that, so it kind of makes no sense. It's illegal too, which is actually why we would be taken down. So from a moral point of view, it's also wrong. Anyway, let's see what Broady does in this seventh game of this match. I think I missed, or I was talking through, or maybe even I was talking over this rally, which seemed really interesting, but I don't really remember what happened here anymore. This one was a bit chaotic, but eventually it's Broady who gets the smash and executes it well. Moutet trying to lob him with that pickup, but it just wasn't deep enough for to cause Broady any trouble. In other news, McDonald has won that set over Schwartzman, although it was just 6-3, not 6-2 as it initially looked. A big serve from Broady comes in clutch, and he just wins it with the +1 forehand. He could certainly be better on these +1 shots. When the serve sets him up with something nice, he is a bit too tentative, but that's kind of what his strokes are, right? That's kind of how his game is. I'm not really sure. Trying to be more aggressive than he is comfortable with would be good. Although this +1 forehand was actually really nice. Lots of pop, great direction there. And hitting it deep into the open corner of the court, and he also gets an easy put away. This time he lets it bounce. 40-15 up. And will he take it on the first opportunity? Another good serve. A little too conventional on the +1 forehand again, I would say. And he gives up the advantage, but he tries to pin Moutet into his backhand corner and eventually gets the error of the slice. So at least so far in this match, the Moutet slice has been very erratic, which of course is not ideal for him right now, because slice is basically the only thing he plays off that corner right now. He had a couple of successful half volley pickups of the backhand, and also that passing shot attempt that didn't pin out. Otherwise, it's been just slicing. Yeah, and of course in Washington we also have some doubles, as Ghosty was saying earlier. Hurkacz Tiafoe, Eubank Skorda. Seems like the doubles is getting quite a lot of excitement this year so far, with Murray playing as well, playing alongside Dan Evans. They beat Krajicek Pavic, so that's an amazing win over one of the best pairings in the world. Krajicek Pavic were actually seeded second in this event. But that's what we know can happen in doubles, right? The singles players often beat the best doubles pairs. And it's not like Murray or Evans are poor doubles players. Of course, not at all. They're just focusing on singles. And we also have Jennifer Broady out on the court right now, playing alongside Madison Keys. We have a tweet on the on the stream right now from Nick. What would you say are contenders for the greatest men's tennis match of all time? I think Nick did that recently with the women's, right? I mean, for the men's, I think as he sort of hinted at when it came to the women's. By the way, John, do you know that you're showing us your whole Twitter? I think you know, but just in case you didn't. Okay, you're showing us your answer now. Really? Australian Open 2022? I mean, I'd have to rewatch it, and I basically have no interest in doing that, because every day there's a billion of matches that I'm more interested in watching than going back to rewatch a match like this. But I don't remember it being all that good, and set 5 especially, like Medvedev barely walking, that's surprising to me. But yeah, Djokovic Nadal Roland Garros semi 2013 probably doesn't get brought up enough. I would agree with that for sure. Yeah, the set is also a pretty nice pick. Australian Open final 2017. That's interesting. I think both guys kind of never really peaked at the same time, but for me, I cannot really stay objective about this match, because it's like such a sentimental. It was such a big moment for me personally. I cannot really stay objective when it comes to talking about this match. I don't think it's one of the greatest of all time, though. Like in terms of the story, yes, absolutely. In terms of like the balance of drama and quality, yeah. Anyway, 15-all. Moutet with another forehand error. He's trying to get a lot of spin on these forehands, which is fine. Of course, that's what he should be doing. That's what gets him an easy ball later, or like that's what gets Broady to just be a little bit uncomfortable or push him behind the baseline. But yeah, so far definitely lots of errors on the slice and the loopy forehand from Moutet. I don't think that serve was in. Broady also doesn't think so, but I guess there's not much to be done. Well, it must have been in. I don't think we have. I think we have electronic line calling right here. So it must have been in actually, and Moutet just gets an easy put away volley out of it. But yeah, off the stream it looked close for sure. Another great serve from Moutet, but looks like Broady will be back with this moonball return. A little accidental, but it sets him up nicely, and he wins that cross-court forehand to forehand exchange. There was a similar rally a couple of games ago where he opened up the angle for Moutet, and Moutet blasted that forehand counter down the line. Here he was trying to do the same, but yeah, it just wasn't the same situation. He was so much further out of position that it just didn't work out at all. he was miles of making that. Anyway, 30 all. Ooh, and that's good cheap return from Broady, I suppose, but Moutet really should have made that +1 forehand. I don't know what would have happened later, because it feels like anywhere he played it, Broady would have had a decent chance at a pass. But yeah, not making that shot at all is certainly a big hit to Moutet, and Broady has a breakpoint now. A virtual set point, maybe. You never really know, but it's possible. Another serve and volley attempt from Moutet. If that lob is in, it's a great play from Broady, and it is. But Moutet will play it back. Ooh, risky approach there from Broady. Basically, so Moutet went over to the net, as I said. Then Broady lobbed him. Great lob, by the way. And Moutet was still able to play it back with this moonball with his back with his back to the net. And Broady, I think he surprised Moutet here with a very risky way of smashing it. Like he just didn't hold back at all. He lands it on the line, and he is 5-3 up. Moutet sits down on a chair, which is interesting. Broady doesn't really care and goes over to the service line. And I think Moutet is coming. But yeah, he seems pissed. Like when he saw that Broady made this shot, he was visibly pissed. I wonder what was really the reason, because it was just a great shot from the Brit. Probably didn't expect that he was going to risk it, but well, that's what he did, and he actually executed it really well. Another rally where Broady tries to keep Moutet in that backhand corner, keep him slicing, and the slice is just long. So again, the Moutet slice has not been too consistent. And that's a big problem for him, naturally. So Broady just 3 points away from the set, which, felt more even, but so far he has been the better player, for sure. Ooh. Good serve. It looked like it set him up for a nice +1 backhand, but he nets that. Again, didn't really handle the spin that Moutet got on that forehand. So you can kind of see why Moutet is trying to play like this a lot of the time. It just takes, it throws Liam off his timing a little bit. Good serve, but it's not going to amount to much, I think. Again, that loopy forehand down the line from Moutet, but Broady tries to keep him slicing and just misses that sharp angled backhand cross court. So 15-30, and clearly Broady is not out of the woods yet, as you might have thought after the first point of this game. What will he do with the +1 forehand here? That's pretty good. And again, Moutet tries to just get more height on the ball to recover. He does precisely that. And this time I think he gets a little surprised by the fact that Liam went inside in there instead of inside out as he usually would to keep Moutet pinned to the backhand corner. And that defense on the run from Moutet is netted. So 30 all, and Broady is now, for the first time in the set, 2 points away from taking it. Gonna have to do it on a second serve, though. That was quite a long way out. Moutet standing really far behind. Kind of inviting exactly that serve. Oh, wow, that's a great point. And another poor volley miss from Broady. But again, he did everything right in this one, So that's a pretty wild rally as well. Moutet, with how he was standing to that second serve, he was really inviting that serve that Liam missed a couple of games back, like the slice serve down the tee on the deuce side. And this time he actually landed it perfectly. There was a net cord from Moutet. It invited Broady to get to the net. And yeah, he just had the volley there and again missed it. So already 3 pretty poor volley misses from Broady in this one. The guys are waiting for something. I don't know. Maybe the crowd is moving. Of course, Moutet is the one to talk to the umpire, as you would expect. But Broady is also not willing to play right now. So I think maybe they are moving somewhere. Still talking. Will they play in a second? I hope they will. Yeah, I think they're gonna play now, and that's gonna be a second serve from Broady. Are we getting the double fault vibes? He lost his rhythm a little bit. Not a double fault, but another one of these loopier forehands from Moutet, and there's a shank from Broady on the +1 shot. So 5-4, Broady. Still up in the scoreboard, but well. Oh, and Moutet goes to talk to someone from the crowd? What the hell is happening? Yeah, he's talking to a crowd member who's like apologizing for something. What the hell is going on? I wish I was watching this with sound, but you know how it is. Sometimes even the sound won't tell you. Won't tell you all that much. That's weird. But anyway, maybe I'll try to search it on Twitter and see if people realized what this was about. Yeah, something with a spectator, I think. Exactly. Someone is also saying that it was something with a spectator, but I don't think they know what exactly was the point. But yeah, there's a great tweet from Jake, by the way, which I who often shows up in the chat here. So this is something that I said at the beginning of the show, that watching Broady, now I'm quoting him, watching Broady and Moutet is fascinating at times. One is very straightforward and plays to noticeable patterns. The other is pretty much a jack in the box on a tennis court. Yeah, I think I talked about it at the beginning of the show, that the difference in like the creativity and yeah, just the way they approach tennis is really completely different. But the difference is completely different. The difference is huge. And yeah, Broady is definitely a lot simpler, even though they are both lefties. They have spinny forehands, flatter backhands usually. Of course, Moutet doesn't really have it anymore, but used to. And yet they are so different from each other. Whoa, Moutet gets this smash back. Is he gonna get this one back? Nope. So a good aggressive return from Broady gets him lets him go to the net. Moutet saves one smash. We didn't even see him on camera doing it because he was just so close to the backboard. But eventually Broady gets the first point in this game, so maybe he will be looking for another break to try to take that first set. Not on his delivery at 5-3. He failed to do that, but maybe he can recover and make up for it instantly. Let's see. 3 points away from the set again. That second serve did not really give Moutet anything, so now they're rallying cross-court forehands again, and Moutet misses one out wide. I love 30. Broady trying to pump himself up, give himself enough energy and motivation for that one final push in this set. It would be a very nice recovery after dropping his serve in the previous game, and also Moutet with that whole spectator argument, which probably wasn't easy to handle as the serving player as well. That's an interesting shot from Moutet, but he is definitely on defense here. Again, Broady keeping him on the slice. This time Moutet is not making the error, and after a one low skidding ball, it's actually Broady who cannot come up with the right response, and I'm not really even sure what he was trying to do there. Probably just slice it down the line, but it was just a complete mishit, and I don't think it even reached the net. So yeah, 15-30. Moutet has saved himself in this point, but he still has a long way to go in order to save this game. Could use a free point, and that's exactly what he gets with this serve down the tee. I think this is the sort of game that him serving like 90% of his serves on the outside out wide, like all of these slice serves out wide are just so tricky to face, and also just so common for him that when he actually goes for that down the line down the tee flat one, it's even better, right? And I mean, just as I'm talking about it, he goes for another down the tee serve, and it's another ace. This one was very like it felt like Broady was really close to it. So again, he must have read it wrong. Moutet tries to go for another one down the tee now, but this one's actually missed. But yeah, back-to-back aces, 4, 5, 15, 30. That's absolutely huge for Moutet right now, especially given how close he was to losing that love 30 point as well. And now Broady throws out his return, so 5-all. Yeah, these back-to-back aces, definitely a moment to remember in this match from Moutet. Let me look how many aces he had before that. Yeah, he had just 3 aces in this match, so 2 of them back-to-back and at 15-40 and at 4-5. That's absolutely huge. Diego Schwartzman still on serve with Mackenzie McDonald in the second set. I was talking about Lauren Davis and Sloane Stevens. They're also on serve in the second set. Looks like a very long match brewing in there. 90 minutes in the opening set. The second one is going at a slightly faster pace. Oh wow, and so many set points as well in that opener. I think if I'm counting correctly, Sloane Stevens had like 7 set points and lost that. So it is a pretty wild match, but this one is also good. This one is also good. Oh, hey Jake, we are actually talking about a tweet of yours 2 minutes ago, which is interesting. And yeah, we were agreeing with it. So, and you also have TV on mute, so you also cannot help us. But Ghosty says I'm clapping when I'm supposed to. Okay, so do we think that was just a Moutet attempt to yeah, just make Broady lose some concentration? I don't know. He is certainly capable of things like that. Lewis, the first set is not yet done. It's 5-all and in the first set. Broady was 5-3 up, had some minor chances, like it never got to a set point, but he had a low 30 on the Moutet serve. On his own, I think it was just 30-all, but he didn't capitalize, and now it's 5-all. Ooh, Broady tries to take that forehand a bit earlier. It clips the net and it goes out. So 15-30 now, and the Brit might be getting into a bit of trouble here. Once again, the momentum is really against him. I'm reading on some group chat on Twitter that Schwartzman's effort is pathetic today. That's interesting. And that coming from a Schwartzman fan might be, influenced by it. But then again, we don't know if it's like a positive influence or a negative influence. Some people sort of make it seem like their favorites are always playing amazing, and some people make it seem like their favorites are always doing everything wrong just because they care too much. But anyway, is that forehand in from Broady? I think it's in, so it's a great shot. Oh, but yeah, just not too clean today at the net. Will he finally take this point? Okay, this is the best volley that he played so far in this match. That's good, but this never really should have been such a long rally. Great defense from Moutet as well. I wish we got to see him on camera because again he was just so far behind the baseline that we couldn't get that. So I didn't see like the details of how Moutet was defending here. But yeah, just a couple of shots that Broady probably could have cleaned up more easily. But it's vital for him to get this point, both from the standpoint that now it's 30 all, not 15-40, but also because yeah, so far in this match, a couple of poor volley misses. I would say about three already. But anyway, 30 all. This serve is just long. So let's see what Moutet does with it now. Just rolls in the serve, but he actually gets a pretty short reply from Moutet. And for a moment, I thought that maybe the Frenchman's forehand cross court was going to go out, but it actually just clips the line. Broady tries to go down the line and nets it. He tried to go over the net in its highest point. It didn't pan out. And now there's a breakpoint for Moutet, who would serve for the set if he wins this game. And there's a second serve from Broady. It's not a double fault, so at least he's going to play for it. He is approaching the net, and he will be thankful that this slice from Moutet doesn't clear it, because it would have been such a tricky ball. But yeah, the serve there was definitely key. Again, little conventional with the +1 forehand, but that's sort of what we've been talking about, right? I mean, Broady is just really, really conventional, um, and yeah, just the creativity, the ability to come up with something in the middle of the rally is just, of course, not at the same level as for Moutet, and that's true for most players. Ooh, but this was a very rushed shot. Like he just didn't execute the motion properly at all, and that +1 forehand is just landing in the middle of the net. So another breakpoint for Moutet. I don't think that serve is in either. So again, the first serve percentage for Broady in this game probably not too high. We checked it earlier, like when it comes to the overall stats. I'm gonna do it in a second probably, or like after this game. I should probably say. Moutet is the first one to get out of that cross court rally. Wow, there's a fake dropper, which actually like wasn't even close to being a fake dropper. But that's a great counter. Broady thought that he was going to push Moutet behind the baseline with this backhand down the line, but it's actually the Frenchman who gets to it with a lot of explosiveness in his footwork, and he just blasts it cross court for a winner. So 6-5 Moutet, and he's about to serve for the set. Great turnaround from the Frenchman, and a few moments where Broady easily could have just maybe stuck with his ways and finish up the job if he was just a tiny bit cleaner on the attack, especially. Broady approaching Moutet's backhand quite a lot. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, there's no passing shot to speak of with Moutet right now. Sometimes he goes for that one-hander pass, but so far in this match, I think he's only done it once. And you kind of know that of the slice, it's either going to be like a sliced lob, which you're going to make, or yeah, just a sliced pass. But I think that most of the balls that Moutet gave Broady after approaches to his backhand were actually pretty easy. Like once he is in this position to approach to the Moutet backhand, he's usually either winning these points or getting or just getting some very easy balls at the net, not always taking them. Yeah, Mute's backhand, I don't want to compare it to the Tsitsipas because yeah, as Jake says, just a wrist problem. He usually had a two-hander. It was not the best shot in the world, but it was certainly just, okay, average. And this one-hander, this 90% slice one-hander is just something that he needs to go for with the wrist not being that strong. Do you think Collins should be ashamed of herself for beating Iga last year's semifinal Australian Open? Uh, no. I mean, this was the best event of her career, right? And she just crushed the Iga serve. So that's something that at this point in time was certainly very, very doable. That's another serve volley from Moutet, but the first, well, he gets some decent touch on it, but it's not good enough to, to fool Broady, and he just manages to get to it with the forehand pass. Wish Broady had even 10% more power on his forehand, says Jake. Yeah, he probably wishes that too, If he had just a tiny bit more power on his shots, I suppose he would have been long in the top 100, like in the top 100 long ago. Right now, of course, that's always a conversation whether Liam Broady will ever do it. We just cannot really know it yet, but he's certainly not guaranteed to. Right now in the ATP race, by the way, he is 103rd, so certainly in contention if he just keeps it up. This win would already be pretty big, I think, but well, he needs to get there first. And so far, it's Moutet serving for the set, and now it's Moutet 3 points away from it. That was a very deep slice from Moutet, and it actually worked great. It gave him the forehand next time, but right now he's back to just getting deep balls to his forehand and having to slice. To his backhand. Ooh, that barely went in, but so did Brody's shot. And there's a net cord that Moutet is gonna catch. Broady tries to lob, but it's just not good enough. Wild rally, at least one shot from each guy that I thought was probably not going to be in. That low slice from Moutet, which barely made it over the net, and also that the shot exactly right after that, which Broady just placed that forehand like on the you know, it just barely caught the line. But this lob from Broady lost him the point for sure. Just way too short. It was a bit of a situational ball, so maybe it's explainable, but still lost him that point. Ooh, these are some sick angles that Broady is getting here, and he approaches to the Moutet backhand again, and he gets the easy volley. So this time, good technique. Crossing his legs on the way to the net. Good stuff. Really good stuff there. That was like just really clean. Sort of classic, the sort of classic volleying technique that you can read about in textbooks, I think. But anyway, he's not out of the woods yet for sure. 30 all, 6-5 Moutet. Maybe he can get himself another easy point with the serve. He won't. someone earlier, I think it was Ghosty, said that 5 breaks in combined in this first set so far, push serving from both men, but that's how they always serve, right? I think it would be very, very unexpected to see them, I don't know, play a tie break without breaking themselves or something like that. But still, there were some various moments when Broady got a few nice, easy plus ones after his serve. Moutet had that huge one, of course, at 4, 5, 15, 30, when he had 2 aces in a row. So that for Moutet has to be pretty unusual, especially as neither was out wide. They were actually both down the tee. But anyway, Broady with a break point. Now it's going to be Moutet approaching the net. This backhand pass, Moutet is not even, Broady is not even going to make him play that volley. So my scoreboard is, I think, wrong. Yeah. For a moment there on the scoreboard, it was 6-all, but of course that's not correct. It's deuce, and Moutet is back to 2 points away from the set. Not an easy hold, though. Well, in this match, there's been like one easy hold, so it was quite well, it would be quite impossible for him, I think, to expect an easy one here. But of course, this one isn't easy either. For the deuce 6-5 Moutet. Has to go for the slice, but it's actually not a slice. He plays a drop shot, and that surprises Broady. I'm not I think that's really understandable. I also wasn't expecting a slice of this ball. I mean, I also wasn't expecting him to play a drop shot of this ball. Seemed like a slice down the line that he's played already in this match. Like, seemed like that was the shot that he was lining up for, and Broady doesn't get to it before the second bounce. So set point Moutet, I think it's the first one. Yeah, because Broady had a break point 2 points earlier. It's also going to be a second serve from Moutet, so first serve not really coming in clutch in this 6-5 game, but maybe he can handle this anyway. He has that set point now. Let's see what he does with the second serve. Just rolls it in, but it's a neutral rally out of it. That's a weird one, though. I feel like this drop shot was actually easy to read for Broady. He was already running for it, and it just wasn't executed right either. He misses it wide, so yeah, Moutet clearly not too happy about it. I think he might be struggling with the heat a bit more than, and the humidity as well, a bit more than Broady so far, but doubt it's to a point that will matter right now. Maybe it can matter in like the third set or something if it happens. And there's an approach to the net from Moutet, but this volley is not going to be good enough. Some good speed there from Broady, catching it. And while Moutet got his racket on it, he was just nowhere near close to actually getting a clean hit there. So another breakpoint for the Brit, and the friend of the show, Liam Broady. Would serve from Moutet, but the answer is actually pretty unpleasant from Broady. Again, some great speed chasing down that stop volley. Broady just got in a cheap return there, and it was actually super tricky. I don't think it was like fully what he was going for. I think it was better than what he was going for, probably. But yeah, eventually it puts Moutet in a very uncomfortable position, and Broady wins the point with another great example of his foot speed and court coverage abilities. 6-all tiebreaker. Moutet sits down again. Maybe this is also another example that he is struggling a tiny bit more physically than Broady. Again, I don't think it really matters in this tiebreak, but maybe could be a factor if we go free here. But yeah, let's see what they do in the tiebreaker. Of course, it's Broady to serve on the opening point. He survives a pretty big forehand from Moutet, And there's a tricky slice coming in from the Frenchman, but Broady keeps this backhand so low over the net. And Moutet, once he got into the forecourt, he just didn't really have an idea what to do with it. But I totally get that. It was such an unpleasant shot from Broady. Throwing his racket now, the Frenchman is. And talking to himself quite a lot as well. Good serve, but will he be able to do enough? Again, there's that forehand slice, like a fake dropper sort of thing, but it's not an actual spot where he's able to convince Broady of anything. Yeah, the first mini break goes to Broady after a forehand cross court that Moutet just played a bit too sharp. Again, he throws out his racket out of his hand after the point, so it's 2 out of 2 in the tiebreaker. Definitely getting quite I don't want to say disinterested, because that's not what it is. I mean, he's just getting really angry in the last few points. Ooh, that's a good return from Broady to steal another mini break from Moutet. Seemed like one of the more usual second serves from Moutet, out wide, kicker, and Broady just takes it off the backhand. I think when he attempted a similar shot in the I can't remember what game it was, but I think he attempted a similar backhand down the line return winner, or a return winner attempt a few games back, and he just didn't connect with it at all. This time he gets a very clean hit, and he is 3-love up, so that's really good for him. And now this cheap return from Moutet is not good enough to put Broady into any trouble. He cleans it up with the +1 forehand, and 4-love up, Liam Broady. So again, he is in a great position to finish this set. We have seen it already. Does this feel a little different? I think it kind of does, just because it's like a tiebreak, and 4-love maybe is maybe even more meaningful if the serves don't really matter, and like the set has been so even so far. And it's 5-love, and Moutet is now like hardcore throwing his racket at the wall, getting into like dangerous territory. I mean, I know no one was standing like close to it at all, but still, this is like behavior that's getting into pretty dangerous territory. 5-love up, Broady is. Moutet is. What? Oh, I think that's a point penalty then, because they're changing sides. So it must be a point penalty for. Yeah, it is a point penalty for Moutet. And like clearly he just wants to serve, so I think he has already given up on the tiebreak, because he just wanted the ball from he is serving underarm here, and the camera operator didn't really understand what was going on, but we got to see that Broady put it back. Then Moutet made a passing shot attempt, but was right at Broady, and Broady finishes it off with a volley. But if you watched Moutet closely just before this point, you kind of saw that he already has given up on this set. He decided to lose it with an underarm serve. Yeah, the tiebreak, just a total meltdown from the Frenchman, and he finished it up with a nice point penalty underarm serve combo. That's unfortunately something that, of course, during his career we have seen many, many times. Maybe not necessarily in this succession, right? But in this sequence, but still. Ghosty of the horror references. But yeah, I see the comparison with the Wolfman. I've never watched EastEnders, but I suppose that means that there's a lot of twists in EastEnders. Yeah, and I guess I'm seeing this comment from Jake now that Moutet is walking a tightrope mentally, which makes me think tiebreak is even bigger for him. And in hindsight, like reading this comment after the tiebreak has happened, that's not a good sign for Moutet. Was Moutet the one that got fined? No, it was Gaston. Yeah, as Ghosty is telling Matthew that it was Hugo Gaston in Madrid when he was playing Borna Choric. Corentin Moutet has a lot of similar behaviors to Hugo Gaston, I definitely think. So I understand the mistake, but yeah, it was Hugo Gaston. Moutet hasn't like done anything specifically, I think, to his opponents other than the fight that he almost had with Adrian Andreev in Orléans last year. But he is a bit of a tool on the court, that's for sure. He acts like one. I don't think he is one in general, but he definitely acts a bit crazy on the court. And otherwise, Jennifer Broady took a set in her doubles match in Washington. Maybe a good preview in regards to her singles appearance later this week. But they are down by quite a lot in the second set now, so it's probably going to be a super tiebreaker between Brady Keys and Martic Sakari. Davis Stevens as well as in a third set, and Maki just finished off Diego Schwartzman. So far, the beginning of the North American hardcourt swing just not amazing for the Argentinian, who I'm kind of hoping will just, after the US Open, will just drop down to the challenger level and look to rebuild his form there. I think that's the best course of action for him at the moment. And there are just two. No, sorry, I have to check that if that's actually true. I think there are just 2 matches left in Washington at the moment. No, sorry, 3 matches left in Washington on the men's side. Marcos Giron against Radu Albot. That does not look that exciting. Shintaro Mochizuki against Gregoire Barrère. I'm kind of surprised to see that. Mochizuki, of course, qualifying, and yeah, Barrère, we kind of have to get used to him in these big events now. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's just that throughout his career he hasn't really been able to play things like this. But that's great. He has been actually holding up on the main tour pretty well, I think. And the big one, which I'm not going to watch, but it's Gael Monfils against Pierre Fratangelo. Maybe expecting a surprisingly tough test for the Frenchman. I would assume that's a possibility, In the qualifying, Fratangelo beat Mitchell Kruger and Alexis Galarneau, and I think these are a couple of great wins. Monfils still very much not back to his best. I wonder if maybe playing 2 free setters already is a problem for Fratangelo as well, though, because he's also coming back after an injury. But we're not gonna know that until we find out. Yeah, the Davis of the world, with an E or without an E. I guess you're all one family. Let's see if Moutet will be able to keep his nerves together in the second set. The tiebreak was just a total meltdown. So he basically lost like the first 3 points, and I think after that backhand return winner from Broady, or maybe even after that +1 forehand that he got a point with for love. From that point onwards, it was just crazy sequence from Moutet, and the point penalty and the underarm serve was, of course, like a cherry on top in regards to this set. Would a 6-2 for Broady right now shock us with how with just how disturbed Moutet seems to be right now? Definitely not. But then again, a turnaround is also not out of the question. We've seen how many times the guys were breaking each other in the opening set. So it could just be a chaotic mess until the very end. That shot clipped the net a little bit from Broady. It made it a little bit tricky for Moutet, but he was still in a good position to take it. Not a brilliant pass from Broady or anything, but it's actually Moutet who makes the mistake on the volley. Feels like I don't know, Broady takes 2 games here in this set, and it's gonna be hard for Moutet to come back. But then again, if he just finds some better focus, can we really exclude it? We shall see. Ooh, that's another return winner from Broady. This time on the forehand side. Very similar serve from Moutet. I guess it's just a little bit of like a more too predictable as a kicker. Like it's just of a kicker. Sorry, it's just not really not really having enough impact on these courts to cause issues to Liam, at least the last few times when he connected well with returns like this. Ooh, that's interesting as well. Moutet just decides to take off his cap and throw it pretty like far away from the court, but still on the court. Interesting. I mean, it cannot really be a hindrance call, I think, because if it's just lying there, then it's probably not going to hinder Liam in any way. But yeah, he is a big mess right now. Moutet, of course, and let's see what he does on this love 40 point, whether he still cares about this game or whether it's going to be more like the tiebreaker, the last few points of the tiebreaker. I don't think this serve is in, so love 40, second serve. Has to wait for a ball boy as well. Yeah, Moutet is trying to play for it still. He is being pushed, kept in that backhand jail with the slice, and the smart shot from Broady there. Didn't go for too much on the backhand down the line. Not like Moutet definitely wasn't as speedy towards it as he was at the beginning of the match. Usually you would expect him to at least make an attempt here, but maybe he was just this surprised by the direction from Broady. But yeah, anyway, 1-0 up in the second set, Liam Broady, and it kind of feels like the match could run away quickly from Moutet if he doesn't make any progress. Nine a.m. tomorrow, Jake, but it's probably 11 p.m. for you, right? So you still have a bit of time, I suppose. I guess that depends on the commute, but anyway, good luck at the new job tomorrow. First day. What else is here? Yeah, I'm not sure where core comes from. I've seen it on Twitter or somewhere, and I actually had to like Google it to learn what it's about. This is very unrelated, but I just very recently realized that the very word spam comes from Monty Python's Flying Circus, and like I remembered the sketch, right, but it just never made the connection because of course, as someone born in like 1999. I first learned of the word spam, but also in Polish there's like no thing like spam the meat. It's just spam the emails. So I never really, made the connection of the Monty Python sketch when I watched it. But that's a pretty wild fun fact if someone doesn't know it, I might start telling it at parties or something. But that's only if I run out of things to say in the first place, you know. I have a lot of fun facts that I can throw around at parties, especially tennis, but no one wants to listen to me anymore. But anyway, 40 love up Liam Broady in the second game of the second set. So yeah, this really might be running away quickly from Corentin Moutet. Which again wouldn't really I don't want to take away any credit from Broady here as well, because it feels like he is playing a pretty smart match. You know, putting Moutet in that backhand slice jail quite a lot, and then doing it effectively. That's a wonderful point, but eventually he's not gonna get to that second lob. Moutet is clapping, but with him it's like kind of sarcastic, I suppose, most of the time. I don't know, maybe it's something with the crowd member again. But that was a very fun point with like both guys running up and down the court at least twice, and eventually Moutet lobs Broady. The Brit was attempting at winner, it didn't work out. And yeah, also what Jake mentioned that in the chat earlier about Broady approaching to the Moutet slice backhand a lot. He's definitely playing it pretty smart. So even if this match is ends like this, we don't know if it will, but if it ends like this, it's not gonna be like the Moutet meltdown is the only story here, right? But yeah, Broady just loses that next point with a +1 forehand that went wide. So he really wants to clean this up quickly. Like there's still that third game point, and once your opponent is in this sort of mental state as Moutet is in right now, you just kind of want to take as many games as you can while you can, and there's like no response. But maybe that's the mindset that Broady has gotten into right now, because he commits a double fault, and that's not great from him. That's how you let a struggling opponent into the match, going up 40 love and then losing the next 3 points. That serve is good though. It should give him the points. It does. Smart direction choice as well there, just down the middle, not looking for any angle. And of course Moutet had to guess. I'm not really sure even like what he guessed, because again he was outside of the camera's range, outside of the camera's view. So I'm not really sure which direction Moutet guessed, but it certainly wasn't down the middle. Oh, and that's just a slice backhand error from Moutet. Wasn't really much on the ball from Broady, so that's one of these errors that we were talking about at the beginning of the match. That this slice backhand just has been very erratic today, and he cannot really allow it to be erratic with how this shot is like rarely offensive, right? It's rarely able to extract errors, so you also cannot really allow it to commit them. But let's see if Moutet can get back on the board with his first game in a while, because he was 6-5 up and then lost the next 4, including the tiebreak, of course. That drop shot from Moutet was pretty good. Didn't make it easy for Broady, even though maybe the moment wasn't perfect, but the execution was good enough for sure. Broady tracked it down, of course, but it was just tough to play anything good after this, like just fully on the run. And the first serve gives Moutet an easy point as Broady misses a return. So 30 love up, and the Frenchman is coming close to securing his first game in a while, which, as I said, it's really been a moment since he had one. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, Moutet is still spending more time talking to himself and like, yeah, just focusing more on his antics than on what's happening on the court. So still a fine opportunity for Broady to maybe attack here, even though Moutet is 30-15 up. Now he stops his toss midair, and I'm not really sure what's happening, but it wasn't like a regular way to do it. That's a good dropper as well from Moutet, but he is gonna have to play something more. And yeah, again, after Broady just chases down the drop shot from Moutet, he puts it deep into the backhand corner of the Frenchman, and then Moutet has nothing that he can do really. I mean, he tries to play this one-handed backhand lob, and it's not. It's just clumsy. It's not long enough. Definitely not. It's not high enough. And yeah, another opportunity, another instance where we see that if you just put the ball deep into the Moutet backhand corner, he's gonna have a hard time passing you. He's gonna have a hard time lobbing you. He's not gonna have a hard time approaching the net though, and playing a pretty awesome volley there to set himself up for this point. Broady still got the got the lob, got a pretty clean hit on the next volley, a lob attempt at that as well, but it was also not deep enough. Moutet easily smashes it. So game point Moutet, and he is just very close to securing that game that would stop the run of Broady from 5-6 down in the first set. They're trying to serve and volley, but the serve is out. He is like walking between points very slowly now as well. This is a pretty weird experience for me too, because usually when you watch a Moutet match, I guess you hear him as well, and right now I'm watching on mute, so it's a kind of a new experience too. Great backhand down the line from Broady, but what will he do now? Okay, it's fine. He just pulls Moutet wide to his forehand corner and draws out the error. It worked. Cressy having a horrible year. Yeah. Absolutely. And like the fact that he did not do anything on grass, the fact that he lost to Shevchenko today, even though he was also really close to, just getting it to a decider. But at this stage, he just needs anything, and he's not getting that anything. So yeah, in deep trouble, Cressy right now. Of course, he still has an ATP 250 final this year in Montpellier, so it's not like he hasn't amassed any points. But since that moment, he basically hasn't amassed any points. And yeah, he's just gonna have to start like more or less from scratch. It seems, maybe even unless he can just really pick himself up very quickly, because other than that Montpellier semi final, he doesn't have that much going for himself this year, ranking wise. Second rounds in Rotterdam, Marseille, the Australian Open, Eastbourne, Atlanta. Yeah, not massive point gains. I mean, they are still point gains in their own right, but definitely not massive point gains. And I guess there's probably more coming up for him as well, although not that much more. Winston-Salem quarterfinal, Tel Aviv quarterfinal. So yeah, not all that much that he has to defend still. Anyway, another game point Moutet. Another one of these forehand slices that I'm not really sure what Moutet is using them for. Decent volley, but Broady gets an easy pass out of it anyway. So we're back to this. In the ATP race, Cressy is actually 115th, which again kind of shows you like outside of these 150 points in Montpellier, he still has 220 from other events just because he's like from time to time winning main tour matches. But these times might be gone for him soon. Like he might have to play challengers again. But at the end of the year, there are a lot of fast indoor challengers like Ortisei or Ismaning, for example. These are the ones that he might easily be winning. Ismaning 2 years ago, I think maybe he won it, didn't he? So yeah, certainly a chance to rebuild himself in these sort of events. But well, if he didn't do it on grass, then his chances at these events are maybe also not that high. No, Ismaning, I think he was runner up in. Sorry, not he didn't win it. I think Ortisei, he was also the runner up in. He won something else, which I cannot remember at the moment. But anyhow, Moutet gets that game. So we're gonna see if it's a start of a comeback or if it's just a start of nothing. And the patterns of the recent games continue. Yeah, exactly. Like, of course, no one is saying that Cressy should stop using his second serve as basically a repeat of his first serve. That's statistically good for him. Yeah, but there are also moments when that just doesn't work out at all, and especially, of course, in the key moments, the double faults tend to pile up. And right now, he just hits like 10, 15 of them in every single match, and yeah, it's just not clicking at all. It's a bit of a shame because, of course, we like unique games on the tour. And well, maybe Maxime Cressy would not have been all that unique. I don't know, 15. 15 is. No, I didn't want to say 15. I don't know, 40 years ago, he still actually would have been, because back then no one served like this. Well, maybe other than like Roscoe Tanner or something. But yeah, I would say that right now, of course, he is extremely unique on the main tour. So it's a shame that we don't get to see him all that often. We won't get to see him all that often in a moment. Why would Cressy retire, Ghosty? Well, if anything, the advancement in technology hasn't really helped him all that much, I think. The advancement in technology isn't really working in his favor, I'd say. But yeah, when it comes to taking an old system, I guess that's sort of true. But it's a great story of a guy who no one believed in when he was in college. He was like a crappy college player at first, and then it turns out that he actually has a way of reaching the top 30. No, I don't think the top 30, but like the top 40 in the pros, right? And also doing it with a style that no one really performs anymore, and like everyone says that it's basically not possible to execute it anymore at a high level. And yeah, he just says no to all that. He just says, yeah, I'm gonna play like this. That's the only way I can play. That's the only way I can be a top player. And he actually pulls it off. And also a great guy to have on the main tour, I think, because anytime you put him against like a top seed, it's a blockbuster. You want to see these guys try to problem solve against someone like this, just because they're not used to it anymore. They didn't grow up playing serve and volleyers. Yeah, Moutet is still complaining, talking to the umpire, but he's actually winning points right now as Broady shanks this forehand. So 15-30 down, the Brit is in the fourth game of the second set, and he really needs to start reacting to this slight Moutet resurgence soon. because otherwise it might get super complicated again. A bit fortunate there that this net cord did not get the ball out of the service box. Just barely in on that second serve, but yeah, he nets the forehand down the line. So sloppy right now from Broady, and I guess maybe that's the antics of Moutet and like the whole situation of him suddenly going up in the scoreboard and like seemingly being very close to taking the match, even though it was still just 2-love. I think maybe it got into his head a little bit, because right now he's definitely just making way too many errors. Let's see if he can play like a more precise point with a better construction. Ooh, ooh. He pulls he still tries pinning Moutet to his backhand corner, then finds an inside in forehand. Seems like he has to finish off that smash. I think of the smash, he was maybe a few times this match he was a little tentative, but otherwise he like always made them. And yeah, right now he doesn't even make it into the court. It's way out, and yeah, 2-all out of nowhere. But then again, it really seems like Broady dipped a little bit, just lost his focus for a moment. We'll see if he can regain it quickly. Playing, I guess, against an opponent, right, where on the other side of the net there's a lot happening, it can often be very tough. So maybe that's what hit Broady in the past couple of games. Right now he is trying to sort of get back to the basics, going at that one-hander, approaching, and he throws out the volley. Oh wow. I've never seen a Broady match, I think, where the volleying was so, I don't even want to say poor, because he had a couple of decent volleys, especially that one at 5-6, I think, was just really good technically, but already like 4 or 5 very poor misses. And this was one of them as well. Another forehand slice from Moutet. Again, I'm not really sure what these shots are giving him, but he is in the rally at least. That slice is a bit tricky off the backhand, and he approaches off of it. Broady keeps it super low though. We've seen it a couple of times already this match, that when there's like a short angled backhand slice from Moutet to the Broady backhand, Broady usually plays the same shot, like responds with the same direction, but it's not a slice. It's like very flat, barely clears the net, and it makes it really hard for Moutet if he chooses to approach after that slice. About 3 or 4 times already in this match, he couldn't really handle it. A chip return from Broady, and Moutet approaches the net again, and this time Broady just commits I would even say an unforced error in this case. With the sort of approach shot that Moutet played, there wasn't any pace on it. There wasn't any, there just wasn't anything that would make you think that this ball will not be comfortable for Broady, but he nets it. So passing shot error is rarely unforced, but I think maybe in this case you could even argue that. And Broady can't handle this first serve out wide from Moutet, so 2 game points for the Frenchman now to go 3-up. I don't think when he was love to down we were expecting him to be up so soon in the scoreboard, but that's where we are. It's possible that he's just gonna be 3-up right now. And this match continues to have more twists than an average episode of EastEnders. Sorry. I was really thinking of the next point, and how Moutet serve and volleyed with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot to finish it off. And 3-2 up after 31 minutes in the second set. Still a match where we know nothing, and whenever we think that we know what's going on and like what the patterns are going to be, we still actually find out that there's that we actually didn't get to know all that much, and like we didn't learn all that much, and probably soon there's going to be another twist and turn. Yes. Also, that's how because I just checked my Twitter notifications, and now I see how Jake got to our stream. Yeah. My head would be absolutely fried playing someone like Moutet. I wouldn't know what is coming next. Yeah, I think I would be really angry at the guy on the other side of the net. Liam must drive Dave crazy. Yeah, possibly. But imagine being the coach of Corentin Moutet. That would be quite something. I think Liam probably drives Dave as crazy as, a tennis player usually drives their coach. But imagine working with Corentin Moutet and trying to understand and trying to calm down that storm. Seems like Mission Impossible. It seems like something that Tom Cruise would do. Like, I think Tom Cruise would be a decent coach for Corentin Moutet, but otherwise, the same goes for Nick Kyrgios, I suppose. But at least Nick Kyrgios is like not kidding himself and not kidding anyone else, and he just doesn't have a coach, because no one would be able to survive that sort of work ethic, and some would even say a lack thereof. And all the drama that you have to go through. Moutet, I think at least last year he had a coach. I'm not really sure right now. And that coach was, by the way, like super calm. So he never really looked like he cared during the matches. So maybe that's the perfect combo, right? You get a very expressive player, and then you get a coach who is just Janne Ahonen there. If anyone knows that reference, I don't really know what to tell you. You're probably from one of these 10 countries in the world that think that ski jumping is a worthwhile sport. But anyway, Buster Keaton for the movie buffs, let's say. Anyway, Freddie Love, Liam Broady. Ooh, if Moutet played that, if Moutet just made that pass on the run, that would have been a great point. I think Broady was still gonna have a play on it, but it probably would have been like a tough stop volley to make. But it just, it's just into the net. So for the love, Broady should be an easy game for the Brit, but I guess that's what we also were thinking about in the second game of this set, where eventually he won it, but it was a big struggle. This one is not going to be that long, though, as there's a big forehand down the middle from Broady, and Moutet cannot absorb that pace and throws it out. 3-all. And still, we don't actually know what's going to happen in the second set, and I guess that's exciting. I also kind of hope it will be finished in 2, because, I just want to go to bed at a reasonable time. But of course, I'm gonna stick around if it goes 3. No worries about that. Yeah, I know Jake is a big Azarenka fan. Also a big fan of Kagla Buyukakchai. Shame we don't get to see her on the main tour all that much, but of course still an active tennis player. And that Istanbul, or I think it was Istanbul, right? That title that she won will live in our memories, even if mostly as like one of the more unexpected title runs on the WTA side. Ew, that's a pretty decent return from Broady. He pulled Moutet wide. The Frenchman tried to like just go on the run, hit the forehand down the line over the highest point of the net, but it doesn't go in. It's in the net. So love 30. I don't know if it actually means much because we've already established that in this match servers don't necessarily have to win their games. So I guess just any game that you can win from right now, right? Especially in this sort of a tough situation, any game you can win right now is already huge. That's a great point from Broady if he can finish it off with the slice with the smash, and he does. Great combination there, and Moutet is clapping as well. That's interesting. Just because it's Moutet, you're kind of thinking, is he sarcastic? But I guess I don't think he was in this point. It was really great. A great combination from Broady. Backhand down the line, super flat as usual. Then just a nicely angled forehand and a risky smash to finish it off. It wasn't as risky as the one that gave him the 5-3 lead in the opening set, but still a pretty ballsy shot. So 3 breakpoints for the Brit. Drop shot from Moutet, and he tries to go for the backhand pass one-hander, and he makes it this time. Broady tries to lunge towards it, and he catches it, but just not clean enough to put it back over the net. But this is the first time in this match that we've seen the one-handed backhand pass from Moutet work out in any way, and actually give him something. Decent serve from the Frenchman, and he just blast that +1 winner from the forehand side. More aggressive than usual with this shot for sure. Third break point for Broady, who has not been great about taking chances like this in this set so far. It usually takes him even more than 3 game points, it seems. But maybe this time that return might be key because he just barely puts it in. And now they're playing a neutral backhand to backhand rally, but of course from Moutet's side it's a slice. He finds a way to get out of this pattern though. Back to slicing and playing to the Broady backhand though. Ooh, and this backhand is right into the middle of the net. So 4-3 up for Broady, and theoretically just 2 holds away. But if this match tells us anything and like how it's been going so far, it might not be as simple as it seems. 39 minutes, 4-3 up, Broady, just 2 games away, 2 holds away, however you want to call it. In this match, maybe 2 games away is more relevant. Yes. Anything in the chat? Oh, that's a nice quest to watch Kagla again. I wonder which ITF will be more suitable for you, or maybe she gets back to them to a main tour event. Who knows? But it's surely gonna be a nice trip, especially if they're like just wanting to watch her play, and she knows you, right? Like she probably remembers you from Twitter as well. So that would be a cool thing. Set 2 is similar to set 1, absolutely. Kicked out of his mobile home for cooking. Okay. Not sure what result Liam needs to make top 100, quarters or further. Let me take a look. Yeah, I mean this week I think it's pretty tough to make it that far for him, But as I said, like in the ATP race, he's barely outside the top 100. So he doesn't need all that much, but then just keep it up. So yeah, any result this week will be really helpful towards the end of the year as well. But yeah, let me see. 5-4 if he gets here. I actually have to pull up the like the table with the points in order to find out point distribution. Here we have it. So this is around 64, and he's gonna get 20 points for this. Then he gets an additional 70 by making the quarters. So no, John, even the quarters won't be enough, it seems. Yeah, the quarters won't be enough. It will actually have to be a semi in order to make it this week. So yeah, this week is really unlikely. It would have to be a semi-final in Washington because he gets 90 points if he makes the quarters, and right now he is at 504, and 594 would get him at 102 now. So yeah, this week has to make a semi, but yeah, quarters, third round, that would be incredible for his chances towards the end of the year. Naturally. What's the draw for these guys as well? That's something I have not really checked. My stream at the same time has also broke down, it seems. Hopefully I'm gonna get it back up in a moment. Okay, I seem to be back with Broady serving at 30 love. Yeah, at the same time, I'm also gonna pull up that draw that I mentioned. See who these guys get to play in the next round. One of these guys, of course. Both of them will not be playing in the next round. Big return from Moutet, very deep, and draws out the error. So 30-15. Moutet or Broady will play Talon Grigspor. Theoretically winnable, but kind of tough. Still don't know what the state of Grigspor's ankle is. He has had this injury most of the year that he's like playing through and delaying his surgery. Maybe he actually had that. I don't know, because he hasn't played since Wimbledon, but it seems like he was playing Bundesliga basically every weekend, so he probably didn't. And a bit of a weird year, I guess, from Town with the amazing start, then the title in Hertogenbosch, great run in Halle, and then just gets blown out at Wimbledon by Fucsovics. So it's like not impossible to beat Grigspor here, I think. Let's see whether this is actually going to be true, whether Talon Grigspor is going to have a shot. Whether Broady or Moutet are going to have a shot at Grigspor. Conditions definitely a bit better for the Dutchman, I think, than for them. I would say there's a bit of argument again about, I'm not really sure what. I'm not sure why the delay is there. Broady is now using a towel to wipe his face off. The umpire is talking to Moutet about whatever the hell he could be talking about with him. Moutet is standing on the outside, by the way, and the scoreboard has not moved. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm really confused. Is it just part of the Corentin Moutet experience? I think Moutet is saying that this serve from Broady was out, and he's trying to convince the umpire of that. That's what it seems. But of course, that's not gonna bring in any result from him. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Looks like he's just complaining about the call, and refusing to play basically. But I can already see from my score, the flash score, which is a bit faster than my stream, that they are back playing. So looks like I will get to that soon as well on the stream that I'm watching. But yeah, that's just Moutet, I suppose. At least once during a match, you're gonna be confused about what Corentin Moutet is doing, and that's just how it works. Now he picks up his racket and still doesn't go there. Ghosty says, I think Moutet is trying to ice Broady. Yeah, we've seen it already. This match, right? In the opening set, there was an important moment when Liam was serving, and Moutet did pretty much the same with the spectator. I mean, the timing of this is either really unfortunate or just really an attempt from Moutet to throw off Broady in a way, because yeah. Yeah, I mean, in challengers, you are guaranteed a stream, right? And ITFs, it's just like over, I don't know, 60k level or something like that. That a stream has to be there. I'm not actually sure, but 25ks and 15ks, it's basically a lottery whether it will be covered or not. So yeah, I get that, and also the streaming is like maybe sometimes even of better quality, but the whole user experience, you cannot rewind. Yeah, it's slightly more iffy to use. But anyway, Broady cleans up this game finally, 5-3, and we'll see if Broady has any more antics to show us. From a comment in the chat, I already know. I don't blame you for spoiling it to me. Like, it's Moutet. It's bound to happen at some point, and we've already had it, of course, on the final point of the opening set. So I know what to expect right now. Yeah, this is a bit wild. Yeah, I see a lot of tweets right now. Yeah, and I see that underarm serve as well. That it wasn't really close to going in. I think Moutet is also suggesting that he has some sort of an issue with what I don't even know. I see already a ton of tweets about Moutet on my timeline on Twitter. People saying that they're over Moutet because it's like week after week there's drama with him, and it's not good type of drama. I have no idea what Moutet is doing, and I don't think he does either, is another tweet that I see. I can very much relate. I have no clue what the guy is doing right now. Yeah, he seems to be like, I don't even know. Seems to be showing that his hand is hurt in some way. I don't know. It's kind of tiring, honestly, especially watching this with like no sound, or at least little to no sound, because I actually put on some sound in a moment ago, but it didn't really help with me talking all over it. But yeah, it is kind of tiring to watch this. Like I want to see points, I want to see them actually play points rather than Moutet going around and. Is that slice out? I think it is. So it's going to be 15-30, and Broady 2 points away from the match. Now a second serve as well, so Moutet is pretty close to losing this match, and especially with how he's behaving, he is pretty close to losing this match. What will Broady do? Ooh, tries to be very aggressive with this forehand, just misses it. 30 all. I really don't know what Moutet is like. What's really going for him. What's really going on with him anymore? But I guess I'm just not gonna try to comprehend it. Some Broady did well in cricket, John says. Was it Liam? Was it his brother? Was it his sister? Probably not. Someone else. Not necessarily from the Broady immediate family. And just one more point left here in this game, probably, if Moutet can close this out and force Broady to serve it out. Let's see. Oh, and that's an ace, actually, I think. Yeah. Broady doesn't doesn't react to it, but it was also pretty good. Yeah, Moutet again showing his hand, but I don't know what what he really wants here. He hasn't had a medical timeout, I think. So I'm not sure what he's expecting, but it would be pretty much on cue for him right now to take a medical timeout, right? I watched Corentin Moutet live a few times. One time he won Szczecin, so that was like one of the best weeks of his career, I think. Especially in how he was playing like from behind and how focused he was. But I also watched him in Ostrava last year, and he had this match in the opening round as the top seed there against Dalibor Szczecina. And do you know when he took a medical timeout? He took a medical timeout at 3-6 down in the deciding set tiebreak. That was a lot of fun. But honestly, after watching that match, I felt extremely tired. Like I was just it was an unbelievable experience, and I'm glad I lived through it. But like the drama, the fits, the things like a medical timeout, 3 match points down, it was just all too much. I was done with tennis that day. I think I still watched Menchik versus Midler, if memory serves right, because it was the only match after that one. It was like late in the evening anyway. But yeah. Moutet live can be very, very tiring if he's like at one of his matches, in one of his matches where he's like, yeah, he's acting like today. He can be very tiring, and that was certainly one of these cases. That match against Dalibor Szczecina, and then Szczecin was like a completely different version of the Frenchman, and you could actually like see why he is so entertaining in a good way as well, not only in this sort of disturbance after disturbance, and like not caring about the opponent and the umpire and the crowd sort of way. This today is of course not pleasant to watch, especially since the end of the opening set most of the time. But let's see if Broady can serve it out. Right now, he wins this exchange with Moutet not hitting that forehand cross court cleanly. Pretty big forehands from Broady here. Will he go down the line here? Yes, he does, but it's not enough to really cause Moutet issues. So the ball is still, the rally is still under Broady's control, but right now they're back to that slice to, back into slice pattern, but Moutet makes another error. Broady rolls the first serve in and goes for a pretty aggressive forehand to the net. Good volley to give him 3 match points. And this is a very fitting end. If this is like the penultimate point of the match, it's a fitting end to it for sure, because he approached to the Moutet backhand as usual, and he got the easy volley he got the easy put away. So that's basically what he's been doing most of the match. Will it end in the same fashion as well? Let's take a look. Big serve should be done with this +1 forehand. He actually is going to have to smash, and the smash is going to give him the match. So 7-6, 6-4 Liam Broady. Is it the result we expected? I think it was a pretty 50-50-ish match, right? The first set was wild, and the second, honestly, just Moutet going crazy. Still playing at a decent-ish level most of the time, but also getting into Brody's head a little bit. So good win for Liam in like surviving that, right? That's probably what you can take out of this, and also the fact that he was he was just playing it really smart, approaching to the backhand slice of Moutet a lot, and some a couple of minor other things, just keeping him in the patterns that didn't really favor Moutet of the at least the version of Moutet of 2023. And he's gonna play Talon Griekspoor right now. Interesting match. I don't know if he can really do it. Griekspoor is definitely the favorite, but we're gonna have to wait and see how it pans out. But still a fun experience, and thanks guys for being here. I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up, right? Good night all. Good night, Jake. Thanks for the kind words, and I'll see you guys on some other Talking Tennis stream. Today you saw me twice. I'm not sure if you're gonna see me tomorrow, but certainly it was both fun at the WTA Weekly and also here. So thanks, and we watched a pretty wild match together.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.